Okay, I have 12 o'clock and I can call the meeting to order. Though I just lost my motion package here, sorry.
So everybody can turn their cameras back on.
I just want to say, I believe this is the first time we are doing a live stream since I've been the chair.
I,
So,
I thought we had done one once before.
yeah,
No?
we've done the accessibility joint meeting,
All right.
but this is our first, and this is where we live stream for everybody to be able to see. So it is kind of cool. Okay, so I will call the meeting to order, and I do confirm we have quorum. And I do apologize. I don't want to admit I might need bifocals, but I'm kind of going between a couple of screens here, so bear with me. Okay, I will read the land acknowledgement. I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe under the terms of the Robertson-Huron Treaty number 61 of 1850 and the Williams Treaties of 1923. We commit to acknowledge, learn, educate, create opportunity, honor sacred places, and take action towards real truth and reconciliation in support of our commitment to walking the path together in respect, peace, and harmony for future generations. Miigwech. Okay, so my first motion is moved by member Kerwin and seconded by member Clark. It is recommended that the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting agenda dated Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 be adopted and printed as circulated. All in favor? And that carries. Okay. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we will go on. I do also have Councillor Renwick. I had asked for her to be in attendance as a representative for the town of Huntsville BIA. Perfect. So reports from municipal officers, I believe, is my next on my agenda. And that is why we are here today. We kind of called this last minute, and thank you everyone for being able to attend. I do have the Rivermill Park Playground presentation by Tina Scott Burns, Manager of Parks, and she will be sharing her screen, I believe, and doing a bit of a PowerPoint. Tina, take it away. There is no motion for this, guys. But we do need to dot the I's and cross the T's as accessibility. Tina's here to present.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Chair Schumacher. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever had to share my screen, so please bear with me. So I'll open up that first, and then we can get things moving on. Okay, can everybody see this?
No, not yet. So you've got to
Uh-oh.
remember to share that there's a little share button right at the bottom once you've chosen your screen.
Yeah,
Blue.
my computer, I just did that and everything just went black on me.
Okay,
Hold on, I'll run.
that's okay.
Just give me 1 second. Escape. Did it work this time?
Not yet.
No, now you're disappearing. Is it the one in the package? Could I try it or?
I can try. I can
Okay,
try and
thanks.
share.
Thanks.
Yeah. I just can't keep notes. So I will give it a go. I'm just sending. Sorry. Hold on. We're trying to call for help here. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen.
Uh-oh.
Are you 1 second?
And I see Randy's here too. And Kirsten. Hey.
Go. Can you see that?
I need to send her my
There.
Okay.
Good.
shared.
Okay.
Got
Is
it?
so Tina, are you still trying to share? Because mine is
Yeah,
okay. Don't worry about it. I can still work. I can just share
okay, just give me,
the
Share.
yeah, it went black on me. Okay, so can you
Okay.
see it though?
Yeah, that's great. I
Okay.
can't unfortunately remove
I don't know why it
the
went black.
sidebar just because I would then
Yeah, I
be
pushed it
presenting.
and it went
Okay.
black. Okay, so I'll just do it with this, but hang tight because I'm gonna need you for the color one.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll sit in.
So, see, I told you,
That's-
Natalie, we practiced, it worked, and then when it's time to come, it's just gonna go blank on me.
It's all good.
So, okay. So again, thank you everybody for coming. Very much appreciated last minute, the way the budget passed and then trying to track down what playground would be best suited for this area. We've had over the summer, we had an inspection done on River Mill and it did not meet the standards. So that's why we need to look at putting a new one in. We had occasionally through the summer months, and into the fall, we really sat back and looked at this park. It wasn't just let's find a piece of equipment to throw in here. We really looked at it 3 times. I went with an individual to really talk about this playground and how busy and how well used this playground is. All ages, everybody uses it, even parents. So this needs to be like a park that needs to keep the way it is. So what we found is the little playground for the littler age was well used. The older kids' playground was very well used, and everybody loves the swings and everybody loves that glider. So we decided to keep the park like a like. So not changing anything. We want to keep it still having, what we have there now, but we want to make it more accessible. So with that being said, at the top of this screen here, this is a new thing that's come out. This is, if you can, I just can't, it's the cat thrill. So with this is to help anybody of all ages, and it's a little treat that comes down, and you have to make the decision on which way you're going to go, and if it gets in the banana and how it's going to get down the treat to get to the cat. So what this does is it gets your mind going, and it makes you build a decision making in such a short time. So the next slide down is your accessibility swing. So this here is great. It's for all ages. We put these in all of our playgrounds. They have them all. This here we find is suitable for everyone and for anyone. And this also helps if a parent doesn't like using the baby swing, they like to use this as well as they have the 3-point harness to keep the child safe at all times. So a swing, something like this one, is about just over $2,000. So just keep in mind. Going down, Natalie. So these are just panels that we're going to put throughout the playground at accessibility levels, so all ages can play. They're really bright colors, they're musical instruments, they're hands-on. It's to keep your motor skills going for all ages. So they'll be along the playground as well. Going down. This glider. So the glider comes in just shy of $30,000, this one. This one's unique, and everybody loves being on this one in our playground. The only thing is the one we have in our playground has 2 benches on either side, and there's a table in the way. So there is an accessibility walkway to get there, but once you get there, you don't get to, unless you squeeze in between, you don't get to actually physically be on there to enjoy with friends and family. So with this here is it's going to have its ramp. You'll get to decide, and anybody can decide, is if you want to sit on the bench, or a full wheelchair can access here and enjoy all day play with their friends and family. Scrolling down.
See, sorry.
Yep, scrolling down to the slide. So this slide is very unique. I got to physically get to try one out when I went on a playground day venture with ABC. This is a really unique slide that they've come out with. It's a little more wider, more room. You don't feel like you're confined in a small space. This is actually rollers that you're going down. So this also helps with anybody who has a disability that needs to have their own pace, and it also helps with no static. So plastic brings a lot of static to some people. So this here is more wider, and you physically can use your hands to control your own speed coming down this slide. Where with a plastic slide, it's a little harder, and plus it's only meant to fit so many people, and you can get like rubber burn, right? So this slide I went down once, and it's actually a really unique slide, and I would love to see Huntsville actually have one because we don't have one in any of our playgrounds. Scrolling down, thanks, Natalie. This is a new swing that's come out, and this is for anyone that can't take like a regular swing because they feel like it's too tight for them or they're confined into a little area. This here helps with anyone that can't sit down and needs to lay to swing. This gives you lots of room. You're not confined to a little area. This is made out of the bottom part looks like a spider web, and it's cable, but it's cable that you won't get hurt on. It is wrapped with material. So again, this is something that we don't have in our playgrounds, and some people can't swing on a regular swing. So this gives you lots of room, and Huntsville Public School actually has one, and it's very well used. So, and even like a mom and tot or a father and a tot, they can both fit on there with their child and swing. So this can be used for all ages and for anyone. Scrolling down, we would love to see a communication board in our park for everyone to use. The Rotary Club actually put one in at Riverside Park, and it's very well used. We see a lot of people using it in that park. So this would be unique to put in Rivermill Park, and I would love to start seeing more of these communication boards in our playgrounds and in our green spaces to help anyone and everyone that can use them. So with our park, this is what it's going to look like. So underneath the glider, which is the first picture on the right where the arrow is, that there will be rubber tiles. So that being said is if there's wear and tear, we can automatically fix it, and we can order parts to fix it so we don't have to rip up the whole area. Over where the swings are, they are going to be turf. And so if you look at Conroy Park, the artificial turf in the infield, it's going to be that material. So this will help accessibility to get to these areas. And it's going to be unique because, again, this is going to be our first playground ever that we actually have access to these areas with no wood fibers. Going over to the little playground and the big playground, they are going to be wood chip surface. And the reason for it is because we just don't have the funding in the budget to do all of it accessible. So that being said, to do those two other areas, it will be about $42,000. So being said, keep in mind is we would love to come in with this kind of a playground. And then later on, we can always apply for accessibility grants. I have a great working team at Town Hall here that's helping me try to find grants. So, you know, maybe in 6 months to a year, we might be taking the wood fibers out and getting a grant to actually put a surface in there. It's harder to do all of this accessible, like turf, asphalt, or rubber surface now, and then adding a playground later, we'd be doing double the work. So we're trying to save the money, and we'll put the playground that we want and then apply for grants, or we look at going back to council later on and asking, you know, next year or 2027 year budget and seeing if they're willing to put it in to make it all rubber matting. So this is the playground we're kind of looking at. I need suggestions, and I'm happy to have Tracy right beside me, is because we're going to look at some colors. So this is kind of like your dark forest green colors, and I need some suggestions. Oh, yes, Natalie? Oh, I can't hear you. One sec. What did you? Hold on.
Did you want to share your color screen?
Yeah. So I go here.
Yep.
In my file.
What is that?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, go to the top or the side or wherever you're go to wherever you're supposed to be on.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes.
I know it. Is it showing? Oh, maybe we did. No, that's Teams. Maybe we downsized it. What happened? There we go.
It's there.
There we go.
Did it work?
Yep.
There we go.
Can you see the full thing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you have to scroll down.
Okay, yeah, I gotta move you guys over to the left. Oh, technology, let me tell you. Okay. I hope we can see these. So this is where I need suggestions on what color we're thinking. So I'll just scroll down some, and then
Yeah.
please jump in if you guys think you want bright colors. Stick it out of the park, and that's it. I think that's just the ending.
Okay. So I was going to suggest, Tina, if you maybe stop sharing for now, we can, as a group, I can see
Yep.
hands up and stuff, and then we can talk color and then maybe go back to your slide and try to find a close enough color in there. So to committee, I've got Ryland with his hand up. Ryland, suggestions for color?
It's a question and then the color, if that's okay, Madam Chair. Is the part of the playground is staying, is that, or is it a whole new replacement? I guess that's just would be my first question, because that would depend if this is going to be an additional part. I would say try to match the color to what we have, but if it's a whole new thing, that would be different.
Through you, Chair, it's the whole thing that needs to be replaced. So we're taking it all out, and then we're going to replace it with a whole new playground.
Okay, thank you. I think a nice bright purple then. I think there was purple color that I thought was cool.
Anyone else suggestion with color? Angel?
I
And then
was,
Derek?
through you, Chair, I was just thinking of vandalism. If the colors are too light and bright, people might want to spray over them. If they're darker, it might be less of that, less noticeable. I know I shouldn't go there, but that's a thing in
Yes,
our, you know.
that area seems to get a bit,
Yes.
for sure. We are aware, and Tina's team does a really good job of, you guys don't see half the stuff that gets done. So I do give them credit and kudos. They work hard. So you don't see it by the time you get up in the morning.
Oh.
Derek?
For you, Chair, I like forest green. I think it just looks nice. I don't know. But I did have a question. So when it was inspected, like how does that inspection process work? Like, was that an inspection about the accessibility, or was the inspection about the quality? Was it falling apart, or is it just to improve the accessibility?
So through you, Chair, with the playground inspection, we have a third party that comes that is certified, and they inspect the whole playground throughout. So it has to meet the standards for municipal act for a playground. So since it is public, so since and it's just like a school as well. Very high standards because this is the public using, and it's not like it's your backyard playground. So this playground was inspected. There is a few defaults. There are some concrete that has moved. There are a lot of pinpoints, shear pins. So like little kids' fingers can get pinched right now. Some of the chains are not where they're supposed to be. There's too much wear and tear. This playground is about 16 years old. So a playground usually lasts about 20 to 25 years, just depending. And as you can see, is where we want to improve the surface is we also have a lot of wear in the border of the playground itself, just because of the water and the nature of and the weather. So we're hoping that with the turf and the new drainage underneath, this will help make our playground last longer. But we do have a report. If anybody ever wants to see it, it was given to council for the budget process as well. So it shows that where there's a lot of default.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tina. Member Davis and then Member Clark.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. It's just, I think it's really great. I think you did a very good job, Tina, of going through and finding different aspects. I think that was very cool. I had a question about the communication board. If you could just explain a little bit further of what that is. Like, I understand, like you said, it said like American Science.
Do you want me to take that one? This was my ask, Ryland. So yeah, I kind of met with Tina and she had a bunch of ideas about boards. This is one I really, again, in work that I've done with people with disabilities who are nonverbal. It's the ability for them to be able to say, it shows sort of pick symbols of go, play, slide. And I know of a number of individuals in our community who are nonverbal. And they've been to other playgrounds and have expressed to me, knowing I'm the chair, that, say Tud Hope has one in Aurelio or the Kirby's Beach in Bracebridge. And it's an ability for a child who is nonverbal to be able to still communicate what it is he wants to do at the playground. A lot of communication devices now are on an iPad, but most kids aren't bringing their iPad to go play at the park. So this is an opportunity for that child to still have the independence to be able to, and then I figure it will spark communication with those who are verbal to kind of ask the questions and be open to education and experience. So was the goal, is to have the ability for someone who is nonverbal to be able to communicate how they want to have their play at the park that day.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think it's a very cool thing to be able to have at the park. That was my question. The other thing is, what would be the estimated downtime? Like, how many months or weeks are we looking at with the park being closed?
For you, Chair. So I'll be strictly honest with you. December 19th, I want to get this order in. Anything after that, we're going to get a 3.5% increase, which we're going to lose out on doing our surface. That being said, once I put this in before December 19th, they will then book me in and schedule me for 2025 season. I told them I want it in and hoping before the kids get out of school. So the faster I get this in, the better slot I will have at the beginning of the year.
Which is why we called this immediately, because doing this quickly gets Tina the discount as well, that if she books by a certain time, she gets the discount. After the time frame, the price goes up. And we're doing this because we do have a budget. It was budgeted. She has an amount, 320,000. She's done a great job of coming in under that, taxes, everything included, with all the pieces that you're seeing to create a like for like playground. to get into too many accessible pieces, it downsizes the playground itself. So we wanted to create opportunity, and the whole idea is to have an integrated facility where people can play together. Councillor Clark.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chair, and thanks, Tina, for your report. It's hard to believe that that equipment's 16 years old down there now, just how quickly time goes. But I just wanted to give my opinion on the color scheme. So I'm with Derek. I kind of like the forest green colors down there. I think it, you know, it's a park, so those are the kind of colors that I think you'd expect to see in a park. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the color. And I guess a question would be the colors. Are we also going to be picking colors for the rubber mat areas as well?
Tina, is there specific colors for that, or is it just?
I'm still waiting for the
Right.
supplier to send me what she's got for the rubber. So once I get that, I can definitely pass that along, but that's not a big thing as what I need to book for the playground. Once I get that, I'll send it to accessibility.
Okay,
Okay.
great, Tina.
Thank
Yeah.
I
you.
think the goal is maybe not black because it gets
Yeah.
really dark and hot,
Yeah.
right? So, and that would be not my pick for a color for playground equipment because that just soaks in heat. Member Kerwin.
There we go. Yeah, I'm impressed with all the panels. I think they're great. But looking at the placement of the equipment, is that exactly how it's going to look with the rubberized surface? And then is that grass or is that AstroTurf?
So through you, Chair. So at the picture, what we did, we just broke it into 4 different groups. So what you're going to physically see is you'll have a border around the playground. Where the glider is going to be closer to Darrell Howell, where the walkway is. So that when you're coming off the pathway, you're going to be able to, you're not going to run right into wood chips. You're going to run into the rubber matting. And then the swings are going to run beside it. So where the swings are now is actually going to turn so that it's facing Darrell Howell Way. So that, because right now when you come off and you get into the wood chips, you're now avoiding trying to get hit by those swings, right? Trying to walk your way to the big playground. So we're going to kind of move everything so that when you come off the walkway, you're not running into all these swings. So what's going to happen is everything's going to butt up to everything. So there's no grass in between.
Okay.
So you're going to have your rubber matting. And that's a good question. Rubber matting underneath the swing will be the turf, which I believe will be a green color. Just because it does look like fake grass. And then butts up to that would be right into your wood chips. I hope that answers your question.
No, not really. You've got 4 views of placement of all of the stations and such. And then the rubberized is sort of looks
So
like
the-
it's got clouds. Is that not what it's going to look like?
No, so underneath the glider,
Okay,
that is rubber only.
right.
So it will be like a square. And then underneath your swing will be turf.
Okay,
And then that will butt up to wood chips, which your playground would be wood chips. So it's going to be a big square.
okay,
So it's going to have 3 different surfaces.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I should have got her to change it so it looked like it's just one. Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
grass in between. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of odd. Looking at the glider, the ramp, it starts at the edge. I guess now I can't really talk to it because that's not what it's going to look like.
No, it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to access it. You're
Yeah.
not gonna go from wood chips to this. All around that area
Okay,
will be accessible for a wheelchair. That's the whole point of going into the turf and the rubber matting, is so anybody that's in a wheelchair
Yeah.
can do it all by themselves. If
I
they,
would- Yeah, I get that. Another question I have is the glider. The one that we have right now was deemed accessible at the time, and it was donated by a gentleman who passed away, and he was a Rotarian. So technically, why is it not being reused? I heard what you said about the new one. It's bigger and so on, but it's accessible. I mean, I've been on it with my grandchild.
so with that one, there was some issues with it. It does have some manufacturer issues. For us to take it apart and put it back, you're looking at almost the same cost of what it is for a brand new one.
I think it would be important for us to let the donor know that we're doing that we're replacing it, just out of courtesy, that the town advised them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be reaching out to the Rotary clubs. I'll be reaching out to the Rotary Club and letting the individual know that we are replacing the playground. The one Rotary Club member that I've been talking to had been watching the budget session, so he knows that it was being talk. So the Rotary Club will be informed that we are going to be
Perfect.
removing this playground.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Deb, can I go to Councillor Renwick and then come back to you?
Sure.
Perfect. Elena, comments through the BIA?
Thank you, Chair Schumacher. I'm sorry, I didn't realize if Member Kerwin would still like to speak. I can wait.
No,
Did you have a question, Debbie?
I might, but I'm not ready.
Okay, well, if I may, Chair Schumacher, thank you for letting me attend the meeting today. I did mention to the BIA at our meeting last Thursday. I didn't have the diagrams at the time, but I did mention to the BIA that this was happening and that it was going through the budget process and that Tina had worked on the equipment. The one question, I mean, the BIA was very happy to hear that it was the equipment was being replaced. And their question as well was how long would the park be down as the transition happened? So I think, Tina, you mentioned that or spoke to that. So you're thinking that by the beginning of the summer, so July, the park will be up and running at that time? Is that what I understood?
Through you, Chair. So once I get this in to order, I will then will know when they slotted me in for construction.
Okay.
The end of the day, the playground is deemed unsafe, so we need to start working on getting it out of there and this replaced. So I'm hoping that when we can get this in, the sooner, the faster I can get on at the beginning of the year, so we can get this playground in place. So it didn't take long for the Port Sydney one. When they came on, they were done within, I think, less than 2 weeks. So it was just waiting on concrete to harden, and it went pretty fast.
If I may, Chair Schumacher, so you're planning to take the equipment out well in advance of replacing it. So maybe if you could you'll let us know, obviously the BIA know when that happens, so they can let their members know that the playground is no longer there, but there'll be a new one coming. And thank you for that. The other thing I just wanted to comment on too was the color. I'm all about color, as you know. So I agree too that I think it should be sort of the natural green colors. And I think there was a bit of burgundy in one of them as well. But I think the natural forest green would be the choice that I would say for that area as well. So if I can pass it by the BIA as well, but I think that more natural than, sorry, Ryland, I don't know if purple is what I would want. I like purple too, but I think more natural colors would be my choice. So thank you.
Member Kerwin, do you? Yeah, follow up or another question?
Yeah, it's not a question. It's really just another comment about the glider. I wouldn't promote that we are replacing the existing glider with the new one because the old one's not accessible, when in fact it is accessible. And it's wear and tear mostly that you're replacing it. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just, we're replacing or trying to replace as much as we can, like for like, to get the same quality, but as with everything, things come, technology changes, equipment changes, and it just becomes, you know, sort of that nicer to have and better equipment kind of thing as we, which that, I wish that would happen with all of us. As we age, we get better equipment. Anyway. Anyone else? My pick on colors, I do like the green myself, but I know, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed that member Hunter isn't here because I'm kind of looking for someone more with a visual impairment. I know bright colors tend to be ones that is usually the go-to for visual impairment. So that is usually things like reds and oranges tend to be the ones that they do, or again, contrasting. So they've done like maybe green and black, although I wouldn't necessarily go with black either because it radiates the heat. But is there some sort of compromise of, you know, green with a contrasting color that I don't know, maybe shoot us those pictures? But again, Natalie?
I do believe there's one that has a green base. It's mostly green, kind of earthy tones, but the poles are all contrasting like beige. So there
Okay.
is quite the distinct color between the poles and the actual equipment itself.
Okay.
I can try and pull it up again if that's something that you'd like to see.
Sure, maybe just a quick look if that helps Tina, because I know she's not a fan of picking colors.
I'll do that now then.
Yeah.
1 second. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say Tina
Yeah,
has it if
yeah,
Tracy can help
sorry.
her,
That was
or
my
you
fault.
can,
It's okay. We can
forget it, or,
no, I let's just see if Tracy's there.
okay.
Ah.
So there's a parakeet is more whatever green, but there's chartreuse.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the green and brown, lime green. Treehouse look.
There's the chocolate one at the top. Can you go up a little bit? Okay, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the one I was talking about.
The chartreuse and beige. Yeah, but the
That's-
forest green with brown, actually, yeah, that's.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mhm.
Is that not the one that we have though? The forest, would we say that's the color that's currently there at
I
Riverville
think
Park?
so.
It's not actually bad. I mean, purple's still cool, but that I could live with.
Okay. Yeah, the grapevine's kind of cool, Ryland. I do see your. Okay, so hopefully that does help you, Tina. And again, thank you to the committee for getting together on short notice. And we just want to make sure to, as I said, dot our i's, cross our t's, and this is the purview of this committee to look at these items. And I definitely wanted to bring it with Deb here because I know Deb was the big champion for that playground back in the day. And little by little, Deb, we're changing it. We're getting not all wood chips. We finally, I know you fought for some of that vinyl or tile that Tina, I do like the tile option too. I do have to admit, I chatted with Tina on this because I know some of the other playgrounds have done the whole thing in that, what is it called? Is it tile? Like, is it a turf thing, Tina? Sorry.
It's just all rubber.
Rubber. They've done the whole thing in rubber, and then if one corner rips, you have to replace the whole thing. So I do like that the tile piece, if we do get a little bit of a rip, then we can replace just tiles, and so it won't be as daunting. And I know Councillor Clark likes that when we talk about maintenance and upkeep, and so that it's not as costly as it can be. And we're looking at those options, but I know Deb, you've worked hard to try and get that rubberized material way back when, and it didn't happen. So we're slowly getting it there. We're getting it for you, Deb. We are. Okay. And that brings us to a close here. So I have moved by member Kerwin and seconded by member Clark that the accessibility committee meeting agenda dated, oh no, that's the adopted one, sorry. Rivermill Park. No. Oh, it was Heather, but she's not here. So I need a mover. I will be moved by member Davis and seconded by member Ben that we do now adjourn at, check my time here, 12:40 p.m. All in favor? And that carries. Thanks, guys, and have a great holiday season. If I don't see you guys before then, we'll see you back in January at our meeting.
Thanks, everyone.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
Lauren.
you.
Thanks, Tina.
Thanks, Tina.
Merry Christmas.